Meeting certain pour costs is one metric of how well your bar is performing.
Interesting.
However, that's not everything, because if you only look at your profit margin based on the type of alcohol you sell, you're not really seeing the big picture.
What are the good metrics that you have to meet, right? Like from the business side,
Right.
You have to report obviously the general manager or let's say the owner.
Right.
What are the things that every day or every week or every month you sort of, okay, here's my performance for the bar?
Well, there's always the underlying metric of pour costs, hitting certain pour costs every month. And I guess for those of you who don't understand yet, sorry, that's a bad phrase. For those of you who aren't familiar with that, it's basically the cost of goods purchased versus how much we sell it for.
Okay.
And
so you said controlling pour cost.
meeting certain pour costs is one metric of how well your bar is performing.
Interesting.
However, that's not everything, because if you only look at your profit margin based on the type of alcohol you sell, you're not really seeing the big picture. You know, if you want to make $10 off of a shot of vodka every single time, you can structure your pricing to hit that.
Correct.
That's not always the best thing for business.
Understood.
Sometimes you want to sell a more premium vodka, maybe not as a high of a profit margin, but overall more net revenue coming in.
Yeah.
So these are some of the things you also want to determine. Your demographics, who's
So you
coming
would
in.
have sorry to interrupt, but you would have a fixed budget that, okay, this month my pour cost should be $50,000, for example.
I fortunately don't have a fixed budget, and there's a general pour cost that I want to maintain.
Okay.
But when you look at it on an item level, it's always different. It doesn't apply across the board. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Some people might say, for a restaurant, you'd want to try to get an 18% pour cost, 17% pour cost. That's a good rule to aim at, but that's not comprehensive of how you want to be profitable behind the bar.
Okay. So there is pour cost. Then what other things, you are responsible for?
There is the cocktail list, which for most customers that come to Sens, it's probably about 60 to 70% of the type of alcohol they consume is what is off of our cocktail list. So that's a very heavy driver in terms of what we can move in terms of units and volume. So in that sense, that's of a very high interest to vendors to be on our cocktail list, because that's a primary mover of inventory.
Right.
So what we try to do is, number one, make sure the cocktail is amazing. And then number two, try to work with suppliers to make sure that we are in a position where we can provide good products, but also get good pricing for moving that much volume for them.